I'm recording. All right. So this is exciting, right? We have 8 people on this call. This is super, super awesome. Love it, love it, love it. I want to make this time worth your while. And so we are going to talk about several things. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the current challenge group. It's going really well. I love that we're having them check in every day. I think that it is bringing an extra level of accountability and even closeness amongst the group, because we're all kind of in tune with each other. And when someone doesn't check in, we notice, or and if you are seeing your challengers not check in, you need to be checking with them on the side, like in a private message. Just, hey, how are you doing? Is everything going okay? They're in their last week. And one of the things I was thinking about today is our next group doesn't actually start until the 18th. So we've got a week in there. So the question becomes, do we want to leave them for another week? Which I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking we just say, hey, we're going to extend this for one more week in this setting, and then we will move them to the New Year, New You graduate group. Now, I know I have a couple girls who are in the group now. One specifically just bought T25, and she's going to want to continue. So I'm going to probably put her in the next group. Which if you have people like that want to go to the next group, then by all means throw them in and let them continue in a more intimate and intense setting, if you will. But if you have others that you need, and you just need to talk to your people, like, hey, these are your options. Which one would you rather? We normally put people in a graduate group that's less intense, and we're not there every day checking in, but we pop stuff in here and there. And so give them the option, especially if they're staying on Shakeology and they're serious about the program and they're having some success. I want to keep that success moving forward. So you guys have to just make a call based on how your people are doing and checking in with them and communicating that with them. So the next group does start on April 18th. So now is the time to be inviting and sharing and reaching out to people about that group starting. Y'all, summer is coming. I'm kind of in shock that it's April already. I sit here and I'm like, what? How'd that happen? And the year's just flying, and June will be here tomorrow. So that is such a great segue to lead people into, because they're all starting to think about, oh, I got to wear shorts and it's going to be hot, and I'm not really ready to have more revealing clothes because I'm not where I want to be, or I don't feel as good as I want to, or whatever it is. You can feed off of that. And so I'm calling the group Summer Strong, 30-day Summer Strong Boot Camp. Feel free to use that name. I mean, it's not like I made it up. Actually, Beachbody, there's a big challenge group that Carl, our CEO, put together that is called Summer Strong. So that is not original. But I like it. I like how it pops, and I like just the way it sounds. And so that's what we're going to call it, to advertise and to talk about it. And it's not program specific, just like our accountability groups, they haven't been that way. Any program that fits your person, they can do and be in this group. Yes, we really want them to be on Shakeology, because we want them to get the whole benefit of the meal plan Shakeology and the workouts. If they're not on Shakeology and you want to put them in because you're hoping the exposure of Shakeology will help get them over the hump to try it, then that's fine. You make that call based on your people in the scenario. And so just FYI on that. And remember, it takes about a week for people to get their package in the mail. But with On Demand now, that's a huge benefit to you. You can sell a challenge pack on April 17th, and they will still have access to start their workouts on April 18th. No, they won't have their Shakeology, and they won't have the physical books to read through. But On Demand, all of that is on there also. The workout calendar is on there. The nutritional information is on there. So they can access everything that they will need to understand the whole picture in our on-demand system. And when they buy a program, they automatically have on-demand access for 30 days. So that is a great thing to make sure that your clients know especially if they're ordering later than a week out, or later than a week out. Like if they're 4 or 5 days out, or even 2 days, they need to know that that's there for them so they can use it. And I know some of us have had to do that in the current group. So just remember that benefit and that service that they have, okay? Does anybody have any questions about that so far? Good? All right. Okay, the next thing, let's see. Okay, Summit. Summit is the last week of July. It starts on the 28th, I believe, Thursday through Sunday. For those of you who are like, what's Summit? Summit is our annual conference. This year it's in Nashville. It was in Nashville last year. It's a game changer. It's a blast. There's like 25,000 coaches that go. You not only get training by some of the best coaches in the business, you also get to work out with the trainers. You get to go to parties. You get to hang out with your team and bond and brainstorm and just have an absolute blast together. And so a lot of you are already going. A lot of you are on the waiting list. You need to be paying attention to your emails. And if you're not on the waiting list, get on it. It doesn't cost you a thing to get on it. And then when they go down, they're pulling people off the waiting list now. So when they go down and they get to your name, they're going to send you an email saying, hey, a spot's open for you, and you've got 48 hours or 72 hours to decide if you want the spot. So it is not too late to get on the waiting list. And you just go to CoachSummit2016.com to get on the waiting list. I would love it if 8 or 10 of us at least were there this year. We had 4 go last year. We had an absolute blast. And it is just such a unique experience that is honestly really hard to describe unless you do it. But you will walk away from there fueled, and you will see Beachbody on a totally different level and in a different picture of what's possible and what's capable, what you're capable of accomplishing in this business. So be watching for that. Registration for the actual event, and we have to pick like which classes we're going to go to. They call it a blue track or a silver track. We start doing that on April 18th is when it opens up to all of us. So they're going to be pulling people off the waiting list like crazy between now and then there may even be some that come off the waiting list after that date. So again, just be patient or be looking for that. I'm going to go through the information this weekend and figure out what track that I'm going to do, and then we can all make sure that we as a team are on the same track, so we're going to the same trainings together. And the other thing is, several of us have rooms reserved. We have to decide how many rooms we need by April 20th, because the 21st of April is when they're going to start charging a one-night deposit, if you will, that is non-refundable. So I'm going to try to work and figure out how many we have that are, for sure in and committed. And then what we're going to do is make sure we pad that. So if some of you who are on the waiting list don't know until after that date, there will be space for you. If we have to put 3 people in a room or 4 people in a room, we will do that. We will make it work. So I'm going to do my best to get a good feel on about how many rooms we need, and then we'll kind of go from there. Does anybody have any questions about that? Nope. Okay. All right. The last kind of announcement, and then I'm going to do a little bit of training on time management. Okay, so some of you saw the video today in Fabulous Force that Melissa and I did, and some of you may not have. But we are starting what we're calling a Sprint to Diamond. And what this means is it is going to be a very intense 7-day training, if you will, to help you grow your business. So if you're a brand new coach, this training can be for you if you really want to just be pushed and be challenged and get out of your comfort zone and see what you can accomplish in 7 days. This is totally for you. If you are currently an Emerald and you are desiring to really grow your business and you want to hit diamond, then this is also a training for you. No matter where you are, no matter if you've been doing this for 2 years or if you just signed up a week ago, you can do this training. We give you step-by-step instructions on what you need to do each day. We give you example posts. We give you all that you need to know the next step. Here's what I want to say, and this is what I said on the video today. If you just want to walk or jog or even run, then this isn't the training for you. And that's okay if that's where you're at. If you're not really ready to sprint and be pushed completely out of your comfort zone for 7 days, you aren't going to be judged for that. But I want you to understand that that is what this 7 days is going to be. It is going to scare you a little bit. It's going to make you uncomfortable a little bit. But y'all, I'm here to tell you that there comes a point where you kind of get to a crossroads, and you have to decide. Am I going to stay in my bubble and my comfort zone and allow fear to paralyze me or hold me back? Or am I going to just go for it, and I'm not even going to worry about it, and I'm not going to be fearful, and I'm just going to see what in the world I can accomplish? That's what this training is going to do. Even if you don't hit diamond in 7 days, I guarantee you will be closer than you are right now if you commit to doing the training and you commit to doing the things we're telling you to do. So this is something I really want you guys to dig deep and decide. Some of you have already told me that you're in. Some of you are thinking about it. If you have additional questions about it, then let's talk about it on the side. Message me, whatever. I'm here to answer your questions. We are going to do a kickoff call next Thursday night during our normal team call time. So it will be at 8 o'clock next Thursday night. Melissa will be starting it because Walker's baseball game will be ending at 8. So I'm going to have to pop on on the drive home. But it will be at 8 o'clock next week. And that will kind of be our kickoff where we really explain the ground rules. Not that there's really rules, but the kind of the expectations, if you will, and what you can expect during the 7 days. There will be daily check-in. And there will be, things that you have to report every day on what you've done. This is in place because we want you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And we are completely here, doing whatever we can do to be that vessel for you and to help present new ideas and new ways of going about it and getting you to stretch and get out of that comfort zone. And so that is the point of this. And I'm really excited about it. We've not done one like this. Some of us have been in diamond trainings before, and they've been 1 month, 2 months long. And to do 7 days, it is completely different than anything we've done. Completely different. So I would say put your seatbelts on and get ready for a crazy ride, but it's going to be awesome. So if you have any questions about it right now, please ask. If not, we can definitely talk about it one-on-one if those of you that are considering it but need to talk further about it. So does anybody have any questions at this point? Nope? Okay. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is time management. And I'm going to share with you guys kind of an epiphany that I had over the last couple of weeks. And I'm going to be completely real with you and extremely raw with what I have done over the past 3 years and the changes that I am making from this point forward and why. So here's the thing. When I became a coach 3 years ago, I fell in love with this. My passion for it was ridiculously off the charts, and I was consumed with it. I focused on it all the time to a point where my husband was like, hey, remember me? I live here and, we're married. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember you. And so we had to work initially on kind of balancing things better. And that's when I started getting up at 5, honestly, to make sure I got my workout in and I could at least get a little jump start on some of the things that I needed to do before the kids woke up for school. Because I didn't want to take up my nights and be completely consumed with this and away from him, okay? Now, before I go further, everybody's schedule is different. Some of us work full-time, some of us work part-time, and you have to find the time that works for you. And it can be as much or as little as you can afford to do and honor your top priorities. And that's a big thing of what we're going to talk about tonight. So fast forward, we kind of got that figured out, and I kind of got my schedule down a little bit better. But I will be completely honest with you. There was never a moment that I wasn't thinking about this business. Part of it, I think, is because when you own your own business and you're so passionate about it and you have such big dreams for it, it kind of is in your head all the time. So on Saturdays and Sundays, and I mean, heck, we'd be at the movies and I'd be thinking about something about the business. And I didn't see that as a negative thing for a long time because I thought, well, I just love this so much and I'm just focused. And so I would just constantly think about it. But here's what happened. And God literally has been screaming at me for the last 2 weeks to a point where I was like, okay, I hear you. With me feeling like I had to touch it every second of every day and be completely focused and consumed with it, it basically transitioned to meaning that I was not trusting God, that I was allowing fear that if I didn't touch my business every day, it was going to completely blow up. So I was allowing that fear to take the place of letting God be God and letting him take this business where it's meant to go and where this team is meant to go. I haven't really relaxed since this year, since the beginning of this year. I kind of got my act together as far as we went on family vacation in January, and I literally relaxed and had the best time with my children and my husband at Disneyland, and I wasn't worried. I was so much better than I had been in the past, but I still wasn't quite where I needed to be. So over the course of the last couple of weeks, I've been in a Bible study that's been amazing, and God's been speaking to me through that. And then I also listened to the audiobook called Make It Happen. Big aha moments in that book. And then I happened to listen to a podcast of a pastor that I've never listened to in my entire life, but my sister-in-law told me about him. Turned it on. He was talking about the exact same thing, about, letting God be God and not being so consumed and not feeling like you have to be connected all the time. Our business is social media based, right? So we can be connected all the time if we want to be, and if we allow that to be the driver. But here's what I've realized. I don't want to be that way. I love this business. I love this team, and my dreams and my goals have not changed. I want it to go places. I know it's going to. And I'm super, super excited about that. But here's what I'm not willing to do anymore is totally allow my consumption with the business to take over my focus when I'm with my kids, or at night when Larry and I are finally sitting down to talk or watch a TV show. Y'all, I would feel guilty at times about watching a TV show because, well, if I'm spending an hour doing this, I could be doing something else. I could be doing work stuff. Or on a weekend, I really need to clean out that closet. But gosh, that's an hour worth of time I could be spending, whatever, doing something for work. So I'm sharing all of this with you because I know that a lot of times it's important. Well, it's not a lot of times. It's always important to lead by example, okay? I don't want to be an example to you where you think that you've got to do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to be successful, because you do not. Period. You do not have to do this 24 hours a day to be successful. So here is what I'm laying down for me, and what I have done, some changes I have made, and I want you all to know this because this will affect you in some ways on as far as scheduling different things with me and whatnot. So my conviction was, God was like, okay, Christy, you've got to take time to rest, and you've got to take time to be present with your family and get your priorities back in line. And so that is what I am doing. So my commitment to myself and to my family. And a little side note, I shared all this with Larry when I had this epiphany. And he was like, and the kind of the kicker for me after all these other things, the podcast and the Bible study and the book I was listening to, is he looked at me and he said, I've been praying about this. And so that really just was kind of like okay, like this is what I'm supposed to do. So what I'm going to start doing to make sure that I honor my top priority, which is my family, is my work hours are from 7 a.m. Well, 5 is when I get up to work out, but my kids leave for school at 7. 7 in the morning until 3 they're my work hours. Okay, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 to 3. Now, am I working solidly that whole time every day? Not always. I have lunches, or I go grocery shopping, or you have things you have to do, right? But that's my focus in those 5 days and in that window of hours. At 3 p.m., my phone is off. Silence is on, and it is away. I am working very hard on that. I have not successfully done it every single day, but I am way better than I have been. Because I want to be present with my children when they walk in the door, and I don't want to still be looking at my phone going, yeah, just a minute. Okay, just a minute. And then you know what happens? Guilt comes in, because you're like, I really shouldn't be typing this message, but I really have to finish this. He needs me, but I really have to finish this, but he needs me. And it's this battle. And it doesn't have to be that way. So 7 to 3, Monday through Friday. And I am not working on the weekends. For me to say that out loud even is still kind of, what? Here's what I want to say about that. Here's what it does for me. It is making me be more intentional with the time I do have Monday through Friday. So things I know I need to get done for the week ahead, or like if I want to set a post up for Sunday night, because Sunday night is a huge night on Facebook to put stuff out there. I don't want to be doing that at the 11th hour on Sunday at 7:30 and taking 30 minutes away from my family to write that really quickly. So this schedule is going to make me plan ahead. Imagine that. Write the post on Friday to have it ready to go out on Sunday night. And the other thing that it's going to do is it's just going to allow me to dial down and like refuel and enjoy the weekend with my family and not worry about, oh my gosh, my business is going to go away because I haven't touched it in 24 hours or 48 hours. It's not what it's about. It's not going to go anywhere. And you know, the thing that's so easy to do because of social media is we see that message come on our phone and we think, oh my gosh, I have to answer this right now. Because if I don't answer it right now, she's going to go somewhere else and she's going to go buy from somebody else. Well, you know what? First of all, if that happens because you didn't answer her in 5 seconds, then okay, she's not meant to be with you. But y'all, that's so backwards. It's so backwards. And honestly, it's healthy for people to know that you do have a life outside of this job and that you'll get back to them when it's within your hours. I used to work in real estate in Dallas. And when I left that office at 5 p.m., I can guarantee you I did not think about work and I did not answer any email about work until the next morning. Now, I didn't love that job like I love this one, so that's been part of the issue that I've had to deal with and kind of figure out. The other thing is, though, if we don't set those parameters, number one, we're going to go crazy. We're never going to relax, and we're going to be kind of uptight. And even though I didn't feel uptight, I was uptight. Inside, I was uptight because I wasn't ever just allowed to just be. And so after God screaming at me, I'm like, okay. And let me tell you what I've done. And this is just advice I'm going to throw out there. Melissa and Angela and I talked about this a lot over the weekend when they were in town. And this was huge for me. I turned every notification on my phone off except for text messages. There is no Facebook notification that pops up. There is no Instagram. There's no Messenger. I do not get emails from Facebook anymore. I was bombarded constantly with that stuff. And that's what left the urgency in me all the time that I had to constantly answer that message or check to see what's going on. And let me tell you something. It's been almost 2 weeks since I turned them off. I turned them off Monday, the 30, whatever that day was, the 27th or 28th of March. The freedom and the way that I relaxed with that small change was unbelievable. believable. Because what it does is, you know how you'll pop up your phone and all the little red circles on the apps are saying, 1, 2, like all the different missed emails or, new notifications that are there, and those little red dots are there everywhere. Those don't show up anymore. So I look at my phone and I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm ready to open Messenger and see who messaged me, or if there are any messages, or now I'm ready and I'm focused to look at Facebook. I don't have that urgency that I have to do it right that second. And it is freeing. And I highly recommend that y'all do that. If you are like me, and if you've been where you have all the notifications on and you're completely tied to it, like you can't even go pee without your phone in your hand because you're afraid you might miss something. Seriously, turn them off. Turn them off. It's not going to die. Your business is not going to die. And you will survive, and you will appreciate it. And you will, honestly, it will change you. It changed me. Totally changed me. So one of the things as far as me to y'all, okay, I am here to support you and mentor you and help you any way I possibly can. And I think you all know that, and I'm a very willing participant to do whatever I can do to make your walk and your journey easier and to make you succeed the way you want to succeed, to help you succeed the way you want to succeed. However, I am going to work really hard to stay in these lines of parameters even with y'all. Now, does that mean we're still going to have night calls? Because it's just the best way I can get the most of it. So that once a week is not going to change. I'm debating on changing the night. I'm going to kind of do a poll and see what night is best, but that's not for this conversation right now. But so we will still do a team call at night once a week, and that's just something I'm not going to change. But as far as scheduling one-on-one calls, if we schedule one-on-one calls, I'm going to work really hard for it to be in those parameters of time. Now, I caveat that with saying, those of you that work full-time and cannot talk during the day, of course, I will make an exception. If we need to talk and if you can't do it during day hours, it's not like I'm going to say, well, you're on your own. Sorry, you're not in my time. I mean, I'm willing to work with you. So don't make that. It's not like a hardcore, you're out of luck, dude. That's not how I'm treating this. But the other thing about that is, and I think this will help you guys too in the long run. Let's say it's 7:30 at night one night, and some question comes up that you need an answer to. And you've texted me, and I haven't answered you back. Two things can happen there. You can sit and wait for an answer and not get one, and then be like, oh, what do I do? And be frustrated at me and go to bed and not have your answer till the next day. Or you can be proactive in finding the answer, looking on our Team Progress Matters website. If it's not there, then post on our team page to see if somebody knows the answer. You can post on our Progress Matters team page. You can also post on Fabulous Forces team page. Both of those pages are your pages to ask questions, to share struggles, to ask for advice, anything. So if I don't answer, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's not because I don't want to help you. It is because I'm trying to honor my commitment to my family. Now, the one thing I will be checking at night is I will always look to see if there are texts. Because my family, we don't answer our home phone, so my family sometimes texts or calls. That is the one notification I still get is text messages. If I see some emergency text, I'm not going to tell you I'm going to ignore it, okay? I'm not. Because I understand things come up sometimes, and if you're in the 11th hour and you're trying to hit a goal by the next day, which does happen sometimes, I understand you might need help, and I am not going to be so rigid that I'm not going to help you. But overall, I want you guys to know kind of what my plan is and how I want to treat it from this point forward. And I also want it to be duplicatable for you. As you grow your team and as you have coaches that you're training and mentoring and helping, you've got to have boundaries and a system in place for yourself also. So you keep your sanity, and so you keep your top priorities while you're also helping your people. Your time might be different than mine. Your priorities might be different. The way you want to draw the lines in the sand, different. We're not the same, and that's the beautiful thing about it. We're all different. But I just wanted you guys to all know kind of what from here on out, what I'm trying to do. And I'm very committed to it. I've already told my husband, okay, here's the plan. And when he heard I turned off my notifications, he almost fell off the couch. He was like, what? I'm like, I know, right? That's like a really big deal. And he's like, yeah, it's a really big deal for you. Like, I'm kind of shocked that you did that. And I'm like, I know. And my words to him were, okay, I'm really committed to this because I know this is what God's telling me to do, and I know it's the right thing to do. But I said, Larry, you got to give me some grace because I'm sure I'm not going to do it perfect. I'm sure there's going to be times where I want to grab that phone, or I need to check, or I want to check that, this or that. And he's like, no worries. He goes, I will give you grace. And he goes, and if I see the pattern coming back and it's not just a one-time thing, he goes, I'll call you out on it. And that's what I need. I want him to do that. I wouldn't be offended by that because we are a team in this, and I need him to be my back and have my back and be my support system. And so there you go. Time management. Y'all, figure out what works for you. Commit to this business, whatever you can commit to it on a daily basis, with still keeping your top priorities in line. There is no right or wrong. You all have your goals. You all have what you want to achieve. The questions you have to ask yourself is, what do I want to achieve and by when? And then you reverse engineer it from there. And I will totally help you do that to make sure you're doing what you need to do daily and weekly and monthly to achieve that goal. And then when you achieve that goal, then there'll be another goal, because the goals don't stop. I mean, they continue to evolve with you as you evolve and as this team evolves and as your role evolves. So does anybody have any questions about that? No questions. Okay. Okay, Lauren, hello. I'm so glad you're on here. I know you got on late. There was a few things, but it's recorded, so you can go back and watch the first little bit, and then I'll fill you in. You and I will talk some more about it too. Y'all, that's really all I have for tonight. I love y'all. I love this team. I love everything that we stand for and everything that we're about, and I'm going to cry. And so I just want you to know that I'm here. And
we love you too, Christy. Don't cry.
Crap, I don't know why I'm crying. I do know why I'm crying. I'm crying because I'm so passionate about this, and I'm so passionate about my faith and how God grows you in different parts of your life and different parts of your journey. And since I became a coach, he has worked on me in so many different ways. And I look at this screen and I look at all of y'all, and I knew two of you before I became a coach, Eloise and Angela, but I didn't really know them even like I do now. This is a family to me. This is, it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And our purpose and our passion for what we do and for loving other people and helping other people better their lives while we are also bettering ours and improving our fitness, our health, our family, our finances, whatever it is, you have a reach that you can help change people's lives. And I am not kidding you. When you feel like people aren't watching, they are. And when you feel like you're not inspiring them, you are. So I want you to own that, and I want you to remember that, and I want you to dig deep and really live out your passion and marry it with your purpose. And y'all, the possibilities are endless, and it will be beautiful. Okay? All right, tears are done. I'm finished. Anyway, I love y'all, and if you have anything else you need, just let me know. And if you have other questions that pop up about all this information, let me know that. I will be throwing different reminders out about a lot of this stuff and we will go from there. But be thinking about the Sprint to Diamond that starts. We're going to do the kickoff call next Thursday. If that is something you're ready to go for and just see what in the world can happen in 7 days, then let's go for it. And we will be right there with you. And it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be challenging. And it's going to be awesomeness. Okay. So y'all have a blessed night. Thank you so much for being here. And before we go, I have to take a picture, even though I have red eyes. So hold on. All right. Everybody smile at the camera. You ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. I love y'all. Be blessed. Have an awesome evening. Bye.
Thanks.